Hey guys, and welcome to day 3 of our 5-day life audit. If you're just coming across this video, I highly recommend you pause it and check out days 1 and 2. I have streamlined this 5-day life audit in a very intentional way, so I want you to start from the beginning and work through with us. But for those of you that are up to speed, welcome to day 3. Today is all about assessing our input. What do I mean when I say that? I want us to review who and what we are consuming. So this is both people and content. So your prompt for today is to think about all the things you do from an input standpoint. Who are the people you speak to most, either through messages or face-to-face? What kind of contextual media are you most consuming? Is it podcasts? Is it YouTube videos? Is it radio? Is it music? Is it books? What kinds of things are you mostly consuming on a daily basis? And what social media platforms are you using? And what types of content are you consuming there? Is your algorithm quite consistent and it's always puppies and makeup? Or is it quite random and you're just sort of at the helm of whatever the algorithm's showing you? I want you guys to really almost deep dive into the input you have in your life. So think people, content, media outlets, things like that, right? Just brain dump it so it's in front of you and you can see. The reason this is so important in our life audit is because sometimes we have people in our lives or accounts we follow that really don't align with us anymore. They may be from 3, 5, 4, 10 years ago when we created our Instagram accounts, right? And we've grown and evolved so much as people, and the same goes for relationships, that there's no longer that alignment. So when you're now 10 years on trying to build this new life or grow and you feel out of alignment or you feel like things are off, it could very well be that your life is cluttered by things that you've just accepted in your life as default or that you've never brought intention to try and make a shift, right? So I'm going to give you guys some practical ways you can kind of declutter this and create a little bit more alignment, because it's a very important thing to do on a routine basis if you haven't already. So the first thing you can do is mute or unfollow 3 accounts, just 3, you can start there, that no longer align. Maybe it's old school friends you're following that you really have no business keeping up to date with what they're doing, or what's it serving you. If there's an account that triggers you, right? If every time you see someone's post, it makes you feel a certain way, unfollow. If you used to be really into hot aesthetic gym stuff and now you're training for longevity, there's a mismatch there, unfollow, right? Try and get clear on what are your values? What do you appreciate? What do you honor? Where are you going? And if there's anything that doesn't fall in line with that, unfollow, mute, get rid of it. I'm not going to talk too much about physical relationships we have, but I do have a lot of videos on setting boundaries with people. So I'm going to put some suggested podcasts in the show notes. You can dive deeper into that there. Today, I'm all about practical tips that you can literally do as part of day 3 today. So unfollowing the accounts is one. The second one is going to be following accounts that uplift and inspire you. So if your feed has been this jumbled, or your podcast updates or your YouTube algorithm, it's just sort of been this default scrambled bag of things that you've collected over the years. You need to clean it up, right? Because a lot of us spend a lot of time on social media and it is impacting our subconscious, which is so dangerous, but also so powerful if you curate it in the right way. So you can also add on accounts that uplift and inspire you. You can start to look for different content. If you really like a creator, I know on Instagram, it kind of gives you suggested other creators and often they're quite aligned. So you can start doing things like that. You can have a total reset, create a new account. You can take this as extreme as you want, but you really need to be reviewing your input, because the content and the messages that come through to us when we're in that sort of trance state is so impressionable. We have to be so protective over it and very careful about who and what we're allowing into that space. And then the last little bonus I would add here is having some boundaries with especially the phone, which is where we consume and connect a lot. Whether it's messaging people, whether it's scrolling, whether it's listening to podcasts, whatever it is, you need to have some rules with the phone. A few ideas, again, you can make your own, but a couple of ideas that work for me is I have no phone 1 hour first thing in the morning and 1 hour before I go to bed. Another one that's worked really well for people is having app limiters where you can just download it, or I think the iPhone has it automatically built in. We can basically say I'm only allowed 30 minutes on this app every day, right? So you can experiment with some of those things to really strengthen this point, but then at least okay, I've only got 30 minutes a day to kind of consume. And when I'm on that platform, the stuff that's being fed to me is very intentional, and I've curated it such that it uplifts and inspires, or it entertains me, right? It doesn't make me feel less about who I am as a person. And this is so important when we're building and creating the life we want, to bring intention to this part of our life. So that's day 3, guys. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on days 4 and 5. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for day 4 of our life audit.